Front accessories. Okay, we are back with a bunch more shiny brand new parts. I just spent a bunch of money that I shouldn't have on front accessories, but you know what? I did it for you guys. Just kidding, I did it for me. I have a problem. But so we're figuring out the cooling system right now, and pretty much I have it where I think the only place it's gonna be able to go. So I have to mount it lower because it's not, you don't have enough room to get a fan in here and get the radiator in front of the core support, so I have to go under. I got some universal mounts, and the top ones I just bent those back and bolted them in like that. I'm working on the bottom ones right now, which I bent these a little bit. They're gonna go right there, and then I'm gonna have a piece of flat 1/4 inch coming from that 1x1, and it's gonna bolt onto that. I'm about to drill the holes for that right now. I have a water pump on, and then I'm going to have to run an expansion tank, which I think I'm going to have to bolt it like right here. And then I'm pretty sure I'm just going to try to run a T from the lower hose to the bottom, and then have the overflow from the cap come to the bottom over here on the side. And I think that'll work. Hopefully I won't have to switch it up and run an expansion tank and an overflow or surge tank, whichever one you call it. I'm not too sure. So, and then I've got a little coupler and a T on the top hose to run the steam line off of. And then I got alternator stuff. I got an alternator and the ICT bracket and the drill bit and tap, type R drill bit. And I got the rib pulley because we're just gonna do water pump and alternator. So we gotta drill the block out here soon to get that hooked up or mounted up right down there. And then I've got my power wire run, or my trigger wire run for my alternator, which is this little guy right here. This little plug, I got that off Amazon, and that's just going to plug right into the alternator here. Boom, with just that one power wire coming out of it, trigger wire, whichever one it is. So that's alternator stuff is figured out. That I have a tensioner and a belt coming. It's on the way. Hopefully it will be here tomorrow or so. And then once everything is routed and hooked up, then we can start this thing up and get it to idle and try to break the motor in. So let's get these front accessories figured out. Well, we have a radiator mounted, and it's pretty simple. Put some 1/4 inch, bent those brackets a little bit, welded them onto the bar, bolted it up, got those in, and we have an alternator mounted, which was a little easier than I thought it was going to be. It's just kind of tedious. You only really have one shot to do it. I drilled it out with a 10 by 1.5 type R bit and tap, and that's in, ready to go. I've got my trigger wire wired to it, soldered and heat shrunk and loomed, and yeah, so now all I'm missing is the belt and the tensioner, and I have front accessories. So now comes the fun part of routing these hoses. So I gotta figure that out, because this is like a weird size. It's like 1.375 inches, and this is 1.5, I think. This one won't be hard. It's 1.25 to 1.5, I believe it is. And I have a adapter piece right here. It'll adapt that, and it has MPT thread fitting. I'm gonna put a 90 this way and have it go that way, and just bring it like right here somewhere. So, but yeah, so alternator and radiator are in. Now we are going to figure out how we're going to mount the fan. I'm looking to a couple different solutions right now. I really don't want to try those through the radiator zip tie kind of deal things. I don't know if that is comparable or not. Probably not. So I'm looking into how I'm going to mount it. Right now I'm wiring it. I'm about to run wire to it, but I've got my relay set up here. I'm bench testing, and I took the AC fan, got that working. I was going to try to run both of them, but there's literally not enough room for 2 fans, so I can only fit one like that. So there's only room for one, but I might try to come up with another solution with like 2 fans, like slim fans. Maybe somehow I'll have to look into that, but for now this will suffice. So, and as far as my front accessories, I got the AC Delco truck alternator off of Amazon for 50 bucks. It was listed for 100, but I just went under and looked at the used like new, and it was half price. So I mean, if you go in there and look at those, you can save a lot of money. I mean, it's brand new. It's just a damaged box, and the box is just, you know, kind of ratty. I mean, it's whatever though. That's worth 50 bucks to me. So and then I got the ICT billet F-body alternator kit. That was like 60 something bucks. And then I got the rib pulley because I'm just gonna do alternator and water pump, obviously, and then I have a tensioner coming. That was like $20. It was normally 30, but I went into the use like new, 20 bucks. So the water pump I got for like $100 at the parts store. I got a deal on that, and the balancer was 50 bucks. I got it at the parts store. I got a deal on that too. So not a whole lot in the accessories. Honestly, most of the money was in the fittings. Those fittings are so freaking expensive. So not too bad altogether. Oh yeah, the radiator is a Griffin, and unfortunately you can't see my cool Griffin cap because it's under there. I got this on Summit for like right under 200 bucks, or it was like 180, something like that. And then like the mount kit was like 20 bucks, just the universal mounts. I just bent those to make them fit. So altogether, I mean, I'm around like 400 bucks, and the front accessories and the radiator. So not too bad. I mean, if I had used parts, I would have just used that, but it's kind of hard to come by F-body stuff nowadays. Oh, and the little plug for the alternator was like 10 or 15 bucks on Amazon. But now I'm going to run the wires for the fan and just hook the relay up in here, and I'll just run it off my little fuse block I have right there. And on the Holly harness, your fan number 1 switch will be the gray wire with the yellow stripe, which is pin E on your input-output connector. Can you see that? Probably not, but that, yeah, there it goes. But it says right here, electric fan output 1, and that will be gray with yellow stripe. I have the tack wired up. It looks sloppy because they're really long, and I've got it so where it's modular and I can unplug it, use those little shielded connectors. That way I can take the dash in and out without having to worry about it. And then only thing else that I have to wire up is just this little panel, switch panel for I'm really not 100% sure what I'm going to run off it yet. But I'm just going to go ahead and hook that up in case I have anything else that I want to run off of a switch power. And it's got a little voltmeter and a USB and AC power outlet on it. But other than that, that's pretty much all I have to wire up before I can put the dash back in for a little while. I don't think there's anything else off of the top of my head that I'll really have to pull it out for. I haven't put it back in since I put that little fuse block there. So hopefully I can get to it without taking it out. We'll see where it actually ends up at. And this little deal, I just got a little thin piece of wood and put underneath the carpet and the sound deadening pad stuff, whatever's under that, and then just put some wood screws in it and screwed that down. So that's in place. I would like to get all of this stuff taken care of before I put the windshield from the parts car in. So it just makes life a lot easier without a windshield there. It really did when I was doing stuff under the hood and putting the engine in and all that stuff. Alright, so I've got all my front accessories on, and I have my coolant lines ran. So we have the upper hose with the adapter and the steam line, the steam line going from that to it, and then I have my lower hose ran, and I had to get a coupler to make that fit. I just got some random pieces of hose and cut them up till they work, and then I used the drain down there. I put a bung on that, or a barb, and I ran that hose over this way and then up, and I got going down through here, up in there, up to the expansion tank, and also have the overflow from the radiator cap going to that as well. So I've got it hooked up. The only thing I'm worried about is it not bleeding out that great. I'm gonna have to see how that's gonna go once I can get this thing started and idling. So I got it rigged up so I can start it, and I can't get it to idle yet, so I'm trying to figure that out. I just logged it a few times, and I'm working out what might be wrong with it. I don't think I have any vacuum leaks. I just double checked all that. So working on trying to get to idle right now. Once I can do that, then I can see if my little plan I have for the coolant system here is going to work. So with that being said, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and end this video right here and get it out. So hopefully the next video will be the motor idling, and we can get it up to temp and let it cool and get it back up to temp a few times and break the motor in. Then we'll change the oil. Then we can go into trying to get it tuned the way it's supposed to be. I'm still learning how to do that, so you'll be along for the ride on that. But I guess the goal now with this whole little YouTube thing is to try and get monetized, and apparently I need 1,000 subscribers and like 4,000 hours of watch time. And I'm not going to be like everyone else and tell you to like, comment, subscribe. If you like this video, obviously you're going to like it. I don't have to ask you or tell you to do that. But what I will ask is if you would please consider maybe subscribing, and I don't care if you turn the notifications off. It doesn't matter to me. I just want 1,000 subscribers. And if you do subscribe and don't mind, just turn the video on before you go to bed and put it on mute and just let it run. I'm trying to get them watch hours. So if you wouldn't mind, that would be cool. At least considering doing that. So alright, well, I'm going to end this here, and hopefully the next video I put up will be of this motor idling. Later, guys.